Welcome back to another episode of Building Meditation App with React Native, Firebase, and OpenAI API. In this episode, we want to go through and build this home screen. If you remember last episode, number 7, we created this tab navigation. And now we want to create this first part, which is this first home screen. Let's start. Okay, here what we are going to build today. It's the home screen. As you can see, it has the carousel of these medias that at the moment we have this carousel with all these hard-coded data that we have now in the app. We have our navigation that we built last time. This is what we have so far that we built through the last episodes. So this is the sign up screen. If you have an account, then you can just go to the login, standard, sign up and login welcome screen. And you can just, if I'm going through the sign up, just create something here, sign up. So if you don't have the onboarding, it's the first time you're signing up to the app, we created this onboarding questions. Basically, it's a set of questions and you just go through these stuff and then it saves all this information. We can just customize this, as you can see in the previous episode, how we built this. You can just customize this by a JSON object or a JavaScript object. And yes, like we answer all these questions to ask basic stuff. As you can see on any app, there is an onboarding part. And we created this. You can just go back, change your answers, and that's how it works. And you get to the last one, it gets less start, and it creates your onboarding and it gets into the app. So next time, if you just land to the app, it just takes you directly to the home screen. So, and this is the home screen that we are going to build today. Okay, this is so far what we have in the app. So we have this tab navigation, and now we want to create this home screen. We have a file created for this home screen before. So this is the home screen. If you look at the design, our background is mainly this background color, this darker color on all these screens. So I want just be as a default. Now we have this white screen. So that's what I want to do. Also at the moment on the navigation system, we have this header. We want to get rid of that. So I'm going to tabs, app tabs, and okay, I want to say here header shown false. So if you see this white thing here, so this header shown false. And yes, I got rid of this basically after. What we need to do, if you look at the design, we need this image. So let's export this image. We need to have this image in our files. I'm going to use 4x. Yes, like use the 4x because we want to have a better quality export of this. So I'm going to export this. I'm going to home screen. And what I want to do, I want to create a header image. We don't want any of these at the moment. Okay, so I want to create this. First of all, I want to make this a scroll view. Scroll view, because if our home screen is more than one screen that we can see, we can just scroll through. So scroll view. And let's not have any style at the moment because I just need to see what we want to do. Or just like if you want to add the score view, like you need to just add the content container style because you need this basically to add the flex or anything on that. So just like have a flex of 1, I want just like expand through all my screen. That is fine. I want to create this header image component, and I might need to use this on other screens basically because we have like similar designs. If you see like another screen here, we have another design like that. So yeah, I'll create a component and I want to pass the image to this. And the image is basically the image that we exported at the moment. So let's say header image from the assets. Let me see if that's correct. Assets, images, and asset images home header. We want this one. Let me just copy the. Okay, this is the file that we want to load. So I'm passed this to image. Let's create this component. I'll go to my component folder and create this component folder, create this header image, tsx. This will be basically, and I get this from the image prop, image source prop type, or image prop source. I pass this image here, import view, also import image from React Native, and I will have an image styles dot image, and here I will import the style sheet. Image. I want the width to be screen width. And also I want the height to be screen width. It's mostly like in square image. In resize mode, put it on cover. Okay, that's fine. I just need to pass this through, import this first, and then pass it. There is something not right here. I bet there's this one, assets. I think like another folder, I made a mistake. This other folder in. Okay, so now we have this. This part, like justify center, line center, we don't want that. We want just like at the top of the screen. What I wanted to do, like make the background basically as our background color. What you can do it on this screen. Basically on this screen, I can say like background color, and then I go whatever, like black. I can do it on this screen, or then I need to do it on all of my screens on my tabs. Easier way is go to the app tabs, and then here basically there is a source, there is a scene container style, and then here I can say background to my background color. If you remember, we have this file with all our backgrounds, with all colors. Basically, I choose my background color, and now as you can see, like all the backgrounds on all the screens now are this default background. This is like an option here. There is also like on different versions of Navigator, you need to see what version you are. There's also a card style available, and then you can just do the card style, which is like the screen. But on my version at the moment, which is React Navigation 6.1.17, it's working like this, scene container. That's what I'm using at the moment. So like on this screen, we need to add a text here. If you see here, we have this let's meditate here. Let's add a Zen text. These are the custom components that we build basically. Let's meditate. Okay, let's meditate. At the moment, I'm going with the heading size. Let's meditate. It's okay. We are using the font called WizBCF. At the moment, I'm not using that. Let's actually import that font. Also, see how we can import the font. This one can be center. Okay, let's go and import the font for now. You need to install Expo font. So here in terminal, I'm going to install npm Expo font. We can do also Expo install. Okay, what I want from this is there is a const loaded and error that we can get from these use fonts, which comes from the Expo font. You can open up an object here. In this object, basically, I can define what fonts I want. So these are the fonts I want. I will add the fonts here now. So these are the fonts that I need. You can get these fonts from the repository, the font folder on the main branch. And I just need to import these. If you see regular, okay, I just imported these. Should be, let's see if I can. And also you need to make sure that loaded, if it's not loaded or it's error, just return null. So don't start the app before the fonts basically are available. This is the only caveat. This is the only caveat that comes like to these for use fonts. If you are not using it on the native side, you know, install it on the native each side like on Android and iOS. So basically you need to wait when your app like JavaScript loads. You need to wait for this use fonts, basically install these fonts and start. It's not going to take long because you have them locally, but yeah, that's what it needs to be done. So now we need to just restart the server one more time. If you are getting like I installed like the latest Expo font and I'm getting this error basically, and I'm just like I went back a couple of versions like on 11, version 11.10.3, and let's see, start. Okay, I'm not getting that error anymore. Like if you have any problem with that, like let's make sure that you're going back to this 11. If the 13 or 12 was like giving you error about like font doesn't exist. So yeah, like I just go back here. I actually loaded all these. You can name this whatever you want. You can map these basically to your fonts. So I mapped these to my font and I'm just call this regular, medium, bold, and extra bold. And I can use this same font family on my app. The way that I want, like these are the fonts that I'm going to use in the app. So what makes sense is that in Zentext, basically, I create something called font family. And I call this the visibility medium, like I'm using this. This one is like really thin, although it's the regular, but for our purpose is really thin. So like I want the medium to be my main font basically. And if you see here also the medium, I'm just importing the demi bold for the medium because the medium I use it for regular. It's just a bit of like mapping, different mapping, because the medium was really thin. I wanted like this demi bold, which I called it medium, to be my medium font, and like I just remapped it. It's up to you and up to the design and how you want to do that. Basically, I found like a little bit of problem with this font. Basically, it's a very nice font, but yes, like there was like the weight wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I can use this font family now in our font. If you see here, if I restart, you can see our font changed. So this is my new font. So what I want to do, I want to just a little bit of changing stuff here at the moment. So I want the heading large to use, if I'm using the heading large, I want also the font family to be the extra bold. If I'm using the heading, I leave the heading to medium, then I can just like adjust it as well. The subtitle, or leave all of them like to this, and then I can have here as, let's say, regular. Then the font family can be regular. I can have like medium, the bold, like bold. If it's extra bold, I use the extra for bold. And I need to actually import this because we don't have it at the moment. We can pass these props to our Zentex, and so we just adjust this items, adjust these basically. That's what I wanted. So I need to also add these here as well. So these are also Boolean and Boolean that we're going to pass. One more thing, I want to also pass font size. It's going to be useful later on. If we have custom font size or anything that is not basically these specific size that we defined here, let's just make this a font size just like that, because we have these font sizes here. I need to also, the type for this is going to be number. And I'm going to like put this in the last part. So if they say if there is a font size that we're passing, override all the font sizes that is here and use that basically. That's all I did here at the moment. So let's go back to our home screen. Start from here. So I can just pass bold now. And we get the bold. And if I say font size 50, then we get that font size. So it's just easier to... Let's look at the design. Yeah, the bold is more close to what this is at the moment. I'll keep it that way. Okay, we need to have this subtitle. I think the subtitle font would be ideal for this. Let's see. Yeah, it looks okay. Also, if you see here, there is an opacity on this, opacity of 70%. So I think like it's good to have also an opacity here. Opacity. So if our phones have like some sort of opacity, we can just pass this opacity. Okay, opacity is going to be number fraction, and I'm going to pass it here. I don't need to do anything else. Opacity. I mean, in case if we pass opacity, that's gonna work. So I put here opacity of, this is too low. Yeah, that's fine. If you see, this is fine. Also, one other thing, I want to pass a style to our, if we want to just style this in a way, adding margin top, like bottom padding, whatever. I want to be able to do that. So like the styles will go at the end of the styles, and I just like spread it. We need to define the type of this style. I would say style prop. We have this style prop from React Native, and we can pass text. So this is what we want. This is the style of a text that we are passing. Let's double check this. I think the size of this is 17. I think subtitle was 17 as well. If we check here, subtitle is 17, that's fine. Looks smaller here, but that's okay. So now this is style, it's now styling. It's easier if you want to just like pass in style to the text. Don't wrap it with a view and then add in a style. It's just for the convenience. Okay, so then we need this search. So we have an input form thing that we can add here. I'm just going to wrap this one in a view, and then I use a Zen input. So this is search, and I need to create a const search and set search. I call it search text, so we don't think it's a function, search function. So I want it to be this. It looks okay. Looks nice. I need to just center this. Let's center it here. Style, I would say styles, search, wrapper. Use this basically as margin top, and then display flex and justify content center, align item center. This is 10 maybe, or 15. Let's look at the design. Yeah, this is fine. We do have this search icon here. Something like we can do here is what I want to do is we can export this. If I'm going here, we can literally export this as an SVG. Okay, let's export this as an SVG. Okay, so I have this like as in this SVG. We can't, I don't want to use this like that. What I can do basically, there are websites, if you search online for SVG to React Native, if you search online for SVG for it to React Native, you get a website like this. You can just copy paste your SVG text, and it gives you back a React Native components that you can use just like a component. The good thing about this, you can customize this. You can pass the width or height or whatever as a size, and you can pass the filling, like the stroke, whatever you want. You can customize this icon for yourself. That is the cool part. So I just, like in my icons, I actually create a search icon dot tsx, and I paste this. Need to have the same file name, search icon. So what I need to do, I need to import this React Native SVG. I need to install this basically. So yep, I'm going to install this React Native SVG. start dash 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 reset cache. Okay, so now we are going to run this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this as an icon. I just pass like on my Zen text input. I can pass this as an icon. So this is the component I'm passing. And I can just import this icon. Let's import the icon. And say here icon, if the icon exists on my component, then put the icon as an absolute positioning. So if we just view this, let me just pass this. Something went wrong. Passing icon. Let's also add it here. Icon to the React node. Instead of this, I'm going to create this style, then icon style. I'll put it here as, I don't have a container here. So if you can see, just like you need to add this z index 1 just to bring it front of everything that you have, because it's now behind the component. So if you can see, it's here. So I need to just like mention here that my padding left, if there is an icon, just makes it 40. So just the search would be a little bit like to the right side. And also on top, I just want like 22, maybe it's more center. Yeah, just nicer. Right now, if I pass the icon, if I don't pass the icon, it's going to be the normal search input component. So if I pass the icon, any icon that we have, it's going to be an icon basically on at the beginning, like similar to this. Okay, so for the rest of this, we need to, let's go through this. We have this section, basically. We have mindful sessions. We have all these, we have this carousel, basically. That's all these items, which are media, meditation medias are there. Okay, I just create a view for the whole section. And then I'll create a view for this top title, Zen text. And it's going to be, let's see, like meditation session. I'll copy this, meditation session. And let's see, this is basically, it looks bold to me, and also 22. We don't have a 22, so this is good here. We can just use that font size and 22. So yeah, this is what we want. Is not centered. It's basically to the side. I want to have here like a style of styles of content container. I'll use this here. What I want here, padding horizontal, I want to put it 20 to just have some padding from around it. And also what I want to do is, if you see this section, it has all these 8 items. Okay, so we have this part. The way I want to do the carousel is going to be a flat list. If you remember flat list, we used it on the onboarding and use a horizontal on it. Use horizontal. We need these items. Later on, we're going to add these to our backend, and then we just grab these items from backend, search from there. Just to design it, I'm going to have a JSON object. So the JSON object, I'm going to add this to our utils, and then you have this data folder, which are onboarding questions are there. So I'm going to add another one called meditation media for now. So this is just very simple. I just created these focus relax as a title. It has an image, duration, and a type, which you can see data here basically. So I just created these. The image at the moment is just uploaded an image somewhere and it's the same images repeated. For now, it's fine. We are going to, so here horizontal, it should have a data. Data will be this. Let me save this first. I'm exporting this as a default. So I can meditation media. I import it here. The key extractor. I don't have an ID at the moment for this. I put the name of the title. We have a title here and it's unique at the moment. So I used that. And then there is this render item that we want to use. And let's close this and a couple of other props basically. Let's load this, see where we are. Let me use Zentext. Just see these titles. You see like they are here all next to each other. That's not what we want. I'm going to create a component, Zen media cards. These are the cards. So I just pass the duration and then type also. Just pass this information to this card because we can use this card later on for other stuff. I don't want to pass the item because maybe we want to use it on some other stuff that has item.name or the image on somewhere, some other data. Anyway, like we want to just pass this. And also the good thing, you can just type all of these. So the control for this component would be easier. So we are going to create this TSX. Yes, like that. And then we are importing all of these stuff here. I just copy them. You're passing. We also need to say what are the type of these string, this number, string. So yes, that's fine for now. I wrap everything in a view. As always, it's going to have an image. The source with the image. Let's create a style sheet here. Okay, important style sheet. I just like put a width of 150, height 10, a border radius for these border radius. If you see here, if you have like this width of 150, height of 100, I just put it there. Same dimensions and image. I'm having this. I probably didn't import view and the image from React Native. We haven't saved this actually. There's something wrong here as well. We haven't imported this. Okay, as you can see, this is like not the best. So we just put the name here, Zentext. I'm going to use the title might be not ideal here. Let's see. It's not bad actually. I can make it bold. Yes, it's nice. There should be like on this view style, and then all these styles dot card container. Card container would be, what I want is a margin left of 20, 10, maybe even less. Let's see. Yes, 10 is okay. This gap between all these, so we need a margin left. Basically, that is okay. There is also a component margin. Sorry, I need a margin right because margin right. Okay, now it's fine. Here, there is a content container style, and I put a padding horizontal of 20. So it has a 20 from here and also 20 from there. And we can also have a margin top of maybe 20. So this gap between here. Now everything's okay. Let me just like go in, add our subtitle basically here, which is going to be the type, which is going to be type dot to uppercase. Because in the design, this is meditation is in uppercase, is nicer like that. Okay, this is now needs to be the regular font and also opacity 6. Looks okay. Maybe margin top 5. Yes, and also we can just add it here at the moment, maybe like a dash, and then what I'm going to add is duration, but it's like I added the duration in seconds because then you can just convert this in many different ways. Always your app has every duration in seconds, then you convert it to something else. Like I'm going to just use an helper function. In utils, I create this helper, and in helper, I'm going to say convert second to minutes. .yes. This is the function I use. So I just like floor the seconds to this, and then I use the first part of it as a minute, and then anything remaining, I'm using it as a second. So I can just wrap my duration with my convert. What did I call it? Okay, I just made a mistake. Convert. Hopefully this is correct. Yes. What I want to do is I'm adding these props here. So if you see, like, I can just like, this is the momentum. So I can scroll fast and it goes to the end. So if I save this now, it just, when you scroll, it goes like one by one. There is a snap to interval, which I put it like 150, which is the length of my card. So now it just stays around my card's width when I'm scrolling. So that's it for this session. We created this home screen. We have our navigation. At the moment, everything's UI. There's no functionality. We can't click on them. So on next episode, we are going to create the functionality for this. So we can basically click on any of these. So we go to the detail screen, and we are going to add media to them so we can play that media, as you can see here. So everything would be functional at that point. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.